Your specific style as a technical director, I will weigh on, but for those that aren't familiar with the role across the board, what is a technical director?
So a technical director's main role is to be a coach educator. So we employ coaches that have got a certain minimum level of qualifications. But for those that aren't as experienced, they rely on my experience to help them out throughout the season. So that involves myself having to go to watch their training sessions and also be involved on match day with them as well. So just sitting on the sideline next to the coach's box, hearing what they're saying and giving them feedback, listen to their pre-game talk, their halftime talk and what they say at the end of the game as well, and just do a review of the game with them as well. Look to see where they felt they had weaknesses, where they had strengths, and what they can work on in the ensuing weeks that according to the program that we set for them throughout the whole year.
And I guess from club to club, the styles of technical directors change. You have some that are much more hands-on, involved with the first team, some that aren't so much. Can you tell us a bit about your specific style as a technical director?
My style is probably what you've described, is a hands-on. Not as much as involvement with the first team. That's the first team domain and the first team coach. But we discuss players. We look at styles as well, different playing styles. But from the 20s down to the 12s, I have quite a lot of involvement. So as I said, watching their training, getting involved in training. If they have any problems that they feel they can't resolve from a football coaching perspective, I get involved and offer advices or take sessions for them as well. So it's pretty much an analysing type role as well, seeing how the coach is going, see how the players are going, giving them the feedback and just taking it from there.
So you've also had a big involvement with the junior trials that we've had over the last couple of weeks, and that seems, I think, to have reached an end. Can you tell us a bit about that process and how happy you are with it?
So the process commenced with us advertising on the website that we were having open trials for all the NPL teams up until from 12 to 20. It involved registration as well, so we had over 300 players register. Not all players turned up because obviously I think they were trialling at other clubs as well, and might have clashed with our trial dates. But certainly involved having about 3 to 4 coaches at each trial session to be able to observe and give their opinion on which players ticked all the boxes for us. So we looked at certain criteria like first touch, running with the ball, 1-against-1 duels, decision making, game positioning. So along those lines, we looked at players that could fill all those boxes. Not necessarily had to tick all the boxes, but ones that we see that have potential and have coachability. Players that are coachable. So if we think that they may not be quite up to standard, but have got that potential, we'll take them on. But it all depends, obviously, on the numbers that we have, and how we can fit them in as well.
As technical director, can you tell us a bit about the national curriculum and how that sort of impacts your job and how you have to implement that, and also a style of football that's specific to the Knights and how you implement that at the club?
So the national curriculum is basically a guideline of the way the FFA wants the game played in this country. They're looking for a possession-based, proactive type of style of play. The preferred style is a 4-3-3 style of play because that encourages a lot of open space and the ability for individuals to have 1-against-1 duels. It encourages supporting triangles. So we instruct our coaches to think in triangles when they're coaching and when they're doing their positional play. So the curriculum offers a lot of suggestions and is basically a guideline. Do we stick to that guideline? In 90% of the cases we do, but going by the book, the coaches, if they're just going by the book, then I don't think they're truly coaching themselves. So they have to be able to adapt that to a match day situation. At the end of the day, we're all based on results, and that's what the objective is. But we see our philosophy as being that if we develop the player, the results will come eventually. So we're not too concerned about results at the younger age level, but once they start to get to the 18s and 20s and obviously the seniors, it becomes more results focused, and that's where we need to be channeling our coaching style and our style of play towards as well.
spoke about just briefly dealing with the coaches and that sort of stuff. Can you tell me the process involved with the reportage and the key goals that the coaches have that you would like them to see?
So we do a player assessment throughout the year on each player. So the coaches are given just basically tick sheets that they need to make sure that players are improving as the season goes along. They're given a 36-week program at the start of the season, and that program is there just as a guideline for them to be able to work on certain aspects of the game, whether it be playing out from the back, combination play in midfield, or maybe wide play and getting the ball into the box. So there's a range of different areas that they can refer to, and that links back into the national curriculum as well. So that's one of the major things that we look at, is to see how we can develop the kids, because they're really here to learn and obviously enjoy the game as well, and we're trying to impart that on the kids as they progress throughout the season.
I guess moving away from all that sort of stuff, in 2016 we've got the junior girls team coming in. Can you tell me a little bit what we have done or what we are about to do to prepare ourselves for those teams?
So with our junior girls for 2016, at the moment and over the last couple of years, we've had various junior teams, either at 12s, 13s, 15s and 16s levels. There's always been a 2-year age gap in between there. That's what's been given to us by the FFV to follow. And we've had a successful senior women's team as well, coached by Tony Kolchek, which have been quite successful and competitive in the State 2 division, I think it is. So I think we've got the basis there. It's a matter of getting in the right coaches now, and probably just a few more players just to top up to make sure we've got an adequate squad numbers, because at the moment we seem to get 12 to 13 players, which is fine enough to fill a team, but once you get a few gaps in there in terms of illnesses or absences, it then becomes a bit hard to fill those teams. So we obviously got to look for the numbers and obviously the quality as well.
Maybe looking back to last season, 2014, how happy were you? How happy were you with it? What did you see as being successful, and what did you identify as maybe not being successful, and what do you want to work on?
Look, we were quite happy with the way it went. We were quite stoked with the fact that it opened a lot of people's eyes up, not only like this trial process, but seeing what elite football is like. The thing that probably disappointed me the most was probably a little bit of lack of support from the FFV, and I can understand why. Is that they've given out a lot of licences, and I think they just need to improve things like refereeing standards, and I know they're working on it. It's not an overnight fix, but our very first game of the season we didn't have a referee for a few of our games, so that makes it difficult, not a good look. So but they've improved as the season went on, so I can see the FFV certainly trying to change the image of the game and change their own image as well, and making sure that they've got the infrastructures right. So that was probably one of the major disappointments. From a club perspective, unfortunately we had to disband our under-16s because we just didn't have enough players, and the FFV gave us an option to be able to disband a team if we felt we needed to, but this sort of came back to diluting the competition somewhat. Not enough players to go around, so but we look like we're in a good position this year. We've got all teams filled, probably 1 or 2 positions per team that need to be filled, but we're pretty confident that we'll have that all right to go before the start of this of 2015.
And just a final question, you touched on the season coming up, season 2015. What are the club's goals and ambitions from a junior perspective, and what's your vibe on how the boys are shaping up this time of year? Look,
the coaches have been fantastic. I felt that we've got a really good quality bunch of coaches, not only from a coaching ability but from a personality ability as well, great characters, and that was just shown by the fact that we had 3 to 4 of those coaches turning up every night to help out with the trials. So that means they're really involved in the club. They're wanting to be part of the success of the club. Success for us this year will be if we can get all of our teams in the top half of the competition. It's going to be a tough league this year. I think we're playing 30 rounds this year, so it's going to be a lot of games. I expect the coaches to be quite patient with what they're trying to do. I don't expect instant success, but I certainly want to see improvement throughout the season as the season progresses.